Welcome to the New the Knits podcast. We're going to talk, we're going to review budget yarns, as we call North America home. We are proud of the Canada to which we belong. We started with the most easily accessible, budget-friendly yarns we can get at the widest variety of options, and that's big box commercial stores. And for us, that's Michaels. Diana can go into depth on how you can't just look at the price tag to determine whether or not it's a budget yarn.
Because there's grams and there's length and there's a lot of things. And then even within the same kind of yarn, if they have like a sparkle version versus a marled version versus a solid version, sometimes they
Different
have
prices.
different amounts, but it's the
Yep.
same price.
Uh-huh.
So many
Karen,
things to think about.
Karen Big Cakes. It's $15 for one of these balls. One of these balls will make a whole crocheted shawl. There's 603 yards in a ball.
So that works out to be
Karen Big
about
Cakes.
2 cents per yard.
So like we're doing the math. When we pick a yarn, we will go over the yarns in detail and why we are calling them budget. We do know that not everybody likes acrylic, which is where we're going to start. Yes, we will discuss shipping as we go through and do yarns and why we make certain decisions. Like Diana can tell you why we decided not to do nitpicks.
Because shipping to Canada is bad. I don't know if it's, I believe Nitpicks has a certain thing, like if you order X amount of dollars of stuff, then it's free shipping, which is great. But I believe that number is like $150, which we weren't
Yeah.
going to do for a yarn review. And then otherwise shipping itself is like $20, $30, $40. We have to ship it to both of us, so that's more shipping. And then you have to wait for it to come through customs, which occasionally costs more money.
Uh-huh. So, for better or worse, no nitpicks, because that is, while not an affordable yarn, it's not, strictly speaking, a Canadian budget friendly yarn. Not when we can order from like Briggs and Little or Barocco or
We have
Patents.
more budget-friendly options for us up here in Canada, once you
We're
factor in
also,
shipping and everything.
oh yeah. We're also going to stay away from local yarn stores to start, because you have huge swaths of the country that do not have access to a local yarn store. So once we've picked through what we're willing to look at and review in the commercial big box stores, we will look at things that are shippable to most places. Because if it's from Briggs and Little, I got to figure out how much it costs if someone's watching us in the Yukon. How much does it cost for Briggs and Little to get over to Vancouver Island? Like, how is that going to affect its affordability?
Mm-hmm.
So there are many factors. So why don't we talk about the patterns?
Patterns.
Mm-hmm.
We get ourselves some yarn, and then obviously we have to do something with it to see how it actually works up. So Jocelyn has kindly made us a bundle of patterns
I'm
to
going to keep
choose
adding
from.
to it.
Yes,
I'm not done.
it's great.
There's hundreds of pages for me to go through. I can only do a chunk at a time.
So we're sticking to smallish, free patterns, freely available patterns, because this is a budget yarn review. So, budget.
It lets us highlight smaller designers, right? Like it lets us talk about people who aren't the top 10.
Yeah,
Which
for sure.
I feel
We're
really
not.
strongly about.
So it's like towels, hats, mittens, leg warmers,
Household items.
things where if you're like really dedicated, you could probably do it in a weekend. If you're less dedicated, it'll take you like a week. That kind of size.
I think that was a good size.
I think that's the perfect size.
But we've definitely given ourselves a fortnight to accomplish these things in the background so that the first time you guys see us talk about this is during the reviews. So you won't be seeing this stuff on the podcast until until the review of the yarn goes up. Shall we talk about the fun stuff?
Let's talk fun stuff.
Diana has already gone to Ye Olde Michaels and bought our first grouping of yarns. We weren't sure if we were going to do like the same yarn or different yarns or the same, like we had to make those decisions. So we randomly made those decisions this week via Discord video chat.
Discord video chat in the middle of Michael's, I might add. Next time I'm going to remember to bring headphones because that was a little bit weird for me.
Just lean into the weird. It'll be fine.
I'm a podcaster. It's fine.
It's fine. So we're gonna go over how the reviews are going to function so that you guys have a very good idea of what it is that we'll be looking at, commenting on, and bringing to you as far as information goes. So step one, how we chose the yarn.
What was
That
on
seems
sale and
important.
pretty and felt nice.
Oh God. Sometimes
summary.
it's gonna be that. Sometimes it's gonna be that, you guys. The patterns we picked and why, a lot of them will come from Ravelry, some of them will not. There is a plethora of blogs and links and website locations and YouTube videos that we will probably freely pull from as we run across inspiration for different things. Basic structure is going to be, for us, a month from the time the yarn is in both of our hands to when we have to record our thoughts and views. So we've given ourselves 1 month to get the yarn, create the item, and then we wear the item for a little bit. Like even if it's just around the apartment, because it's not like, or if it's like it's a teapot cozy, we use the teapot cozy, like just so
Yeah.
that we've used it a couple of times. Even though that does mean that sometimes we might be making winter gear in summer, we'll just wear it inside. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
It'll be
We
fine.
won't melt probably.
I'll sit in front of the air conditioning unit. I'll be fine. So we're gonna do that so we have some sort of idea. It also means that we've washed it at least once. So we have a really good idea of what it functions like after she's washed and blocked, because there are many types of yarn bases out there that aren't as comfortable to work in as they are to wear. Cottons, linens, you get the idea. We will expand out later. So Dinah has been sitting on showing off the first yarns, which I think she would very much like to do.
I would very much like to do. I'm looking at these pretty yarns and I just
Dinah's going to give you guys a sneak peek and we'll show you what our first yarns are going to be.
So we're both doing loops and threads, soft and shiny, which is, I believe, a new base for both of us.
Mhm.
I have 3 balls of this color 23, which is a purple and gray kind of ombre thing. So I think it's going to do sort of a self-striping kind of situation.
Could be interesting. I've never worked in the soft and shiny, so I'm very intrigued. I'm assuming it feels soft and shiny.
It has
Excellent.
a slight sheen to it, like a
Mhm.
slight silky sheen to it, and it is very soft.
Excellent, excellent. This is good. This
So
is good
I'm
info.
thinking I'm gonna make a cow-like object out of this.
Okay.
Exact one TBD. But I have 3 of them, so I'm gonna make something big and squishy.
Well, it also means you could crochet if you don't want to knit. Like if what you find is a crochet one, that gives
Well,
you the
yeah, I was
freedom.
thinking crochet, some kind of like granny shell-based thing.
You can make the giant snood that I'm gonna make.
I'm really thinking about it, honestly. And then your violently colored yarn. First of all, there's this black
Violently colored.
sparkle. There's
Look at
black with
that.
multicolored sparkle, if it'll focus on the sparkle. So that's called Onyx Rainbow. There's 4 of those.
Uh-huh.
And then for a nice pop of color, we've got this, which
God, it's
is coming out to
blowing
look like
out.
highlighter green. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
blowing
it's not quite this bright in real life. It's bright, but it's not quite that bright.
Oh my God, what have I done to myself?
And it is citrus, apparently.
Sure,
This acid green color is citrus.
absolutely. I already know what cow I'm going to make. There's a wonderful YouTuber who Diana will happily link in the description box below for everybody. She made a amazing, epic, oversized, dramatic snood. She's a crocheter. And my brain has been latched onto the idea of making this absolutely monstrously huge snood. So that is absolutely what I'm going to make.
I'll be
And
making
I'm
a less monstrously huge snood because I only have 3 skeins.
So that'll be our first go for it. And yes, we will expand out and we will look at wools and blends and we'll talk about all that when we get there. But for the moment, we be acrylic. If anything, at least the wash care instructions will be easy to follow.
Yeah. Wash it, dry it.
Yep, I can get behind
Yeah,
that.
it is in fact wash it and dry it. Plus these were $4.50 a ball.
Yeah,
So hard
pretty
to
good.
argue with that.
All right, I think that's it. In which case, until you get the first check-in and you find out how that yarn is gone, I'm gonna say I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you,
Don't
don't
forget to
forget
knit.
to